Hello, Matt. How you doing?
All right, Coach Joe, how you doing, buddy?
I'm so amazing, so amazing. I'm so happy and honored to interview you.
I'm honored that you asked me, my friend. I know you know a lot of people and that you picked me. I'm very grateful for that. I appreciate this opportunity.
Because you know why? Because you walk to talk, you're so healthy and knowledgeable, and that you so motivate your client. Like you are the like one of the like a lot of different category, right? But you are the one of the best category for this interview.
Good, good. I appreciate that, man. I'll do my best and I'll try to make you happy. Hopefully, we can create some value for our listeners. And that's what I'm all about, my friend, creating value for other people.
Thank you so much. First question, can you introduce my followers who you are, please?
Yep, my name is Matt Espeut, and I own a Fit Body Boot Camp in Providence, Rhode Island. I've been in the fitness and wellness industry for well over 25 years, and I've owned my own brick and mortar. We're coming on 7 years now. I've owned my own brick and mortar gym. So I'm ACE certified. I belong to several mastermind groups. I belong to the Todd Durkin mastermind group, which is how we met, Trainer Joe. And we've been great friends ever since, man. So, you know, I appreciate Todd for bringing us together. And, you know, that the networking is what makes us a stronger industry.
Thank you so much. I still owe you to buy your lunch. Do you know that?
I don't know. I remember the last time you took me to a Korean barbecue, and man, you were a gangster on the grill, man. You took care of all the cooking, so I think we're even on that aspect, right? You fed me, you made me very happy. That was like one of my most memorable dining experiences with you.
Thank you so much. That's my favorite restaurant in San Diego, and then I still remember you pay for it. One day I meet you, I'm gonna pay for that lunch or dinner. Okay?
That's a deal. That's a deal. I'm always up for a free meal, my friend.
Yeah, I you know, I always remember if I owe something.
Okay. You don't owe me, but I'll accept it. Okay. You don't consider it a debt.
Yeah, sure. But I just love to, come and go, give and take, and then,
Absolutely. That's what it's
yeah.
all about, baby. It's all about giving and taking, like I said, creating value for other people and then absorbing and taking care of yourself too. So it's a two-way.
Yes, sir. So you tell your age to public or not?
Yeah, I'm 53. I'll be 53 this September, right? So I'm 52 years old right now. I'll be 53 in a couple more months, you know.
Amazing. Like 53, like 52, like, oh my God, like, you train like better than me, like harder than me, like more amazing than me. So what's your like a training style like?
Well, I do a lot of functional movement training. So my boot camp, we base our boot camp movements around functional movement, right? So we don't just do exercises to make people tired and sore, right? We do exercises that have some function that relate to our everyday life, right? So, growing up, like when I first started bodybuilding, I've done some bodybuilding shows, and I used to train with, a lot of machines and just ways to make my muscles big. But as I got older and I started getting more injuries, which you will get if you don't take care of your body, right? I started training like a more functional way. I got certified through Paul Chek, through the Chek Institute, who's a very holistic type of guy. And he taught me a lot about holistic nutrition and holistic movement. So I combined a lot of, I still lift heavy weights because we need that muscle mass, right? As we get older, our bone density breaks down, our testosterone in males decreases a little bit. And, our muscles get soft, right? So you need that heavy weight, that heavy resistance. So I do heavy training at least 3-4 days a week. And then the other days I do conditioning, like high intensity interval training, like my boot camp sessions. Or I do a lot of mountain biking, right? Getting out in the fresh air, getting out in the woods. I also have a sprint routine that I do. So I sprint. I don't run a lot of distance. The most I run is 1 mile at a time. So a couple times a week, I'll go to a lacrosse field near my house and I'll run. I'll do like 10 50-yard sprints as fast as an old man can run. And then after the 50-yard sprints, I run a mile. I'm trying to break an 8-minute mile, but the best I can do is 8:17 in my mile run. So I combine a lot of different styles of training. So I do my strength training, I do my endurance and my HIIT training. And, The only thing I am lacking, and you did ask me this question, is I do need some more flexibility and some more mobility training. But, you know, I'm kind of a meathead at heart, right? So I always want to work on building the muscles stronger. And I don't, you know, I'm guilty of not taking enough time to do, you know, any kind of reflexology or yoga or stuff like that. Which I definitely, like I said, I should be doing. But that's pretty much my training style. And, you know, that's what keeps me moving and keeps me pretty much injury free.
That's right. Like longevity. That's so how many hours a week you train? It sounds a lot to me. How many hours a week you train?
To be honest with you, each bout isn't that long, right? So when I lift weights, I lift for like 30 to 40 minutes max, right? I don't spend hours in the gym. When I do my cardio, like when I do my sprints, I'm usually done with my sprints in like 25, 30 minutes. I have my zone, heart rate zone. You guys are familiar with my zone. So I wear that. So I make sure that I get my MEPs in. And I can get a lot of MEPs because, like I said, I consolidate my training. So I make sure I train hard and I don't take a lot of rest. And I try to get a lot of volume. I condense a lot of volume into a small amount of time. So you don't need long hours in the gym to maintain a good level of fitness, right? So yeah, so I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do something light on Friday. I usually take Saturday off, and then my week starts on Sunday. So I do my heavy lifting, like I do deadlifts and kettlebell swings on Sunday, and then I mountain bike on Sunday. So that Sunday's like kind of my start of my week, right? So most people end their week on Sunday. I start my week on Sunday, and then, you know, I have a routine. I do my bench and my chest on Monday. I do my legs on Tuesday with my sprint work. You know, and then like I just get the rest of the body parts as I feel. Like sometimes I'll be like, I just feel like doing some arms today. I'll do some arms, and then some days I feel like I'm just doing shoulders today. I just do shoulders. But, you know, I try to jump into a boot camp here and there. So, you know, I make it a point, you know, as busy as I am, you know, and I'm very busy this time of year. We've just started a new challenge at the gym. So, but I never miss my workouts. I always schedule that into my day. I make that a concrete promise to myself. And I don't think I've missed a workout. And, you know, notwithstanding, like, you know, an injury. I had a bad injury last year at the end of the summer. I had a little brain injury, and I was out of the gym for a few weeks. But other than, you know, nothing, like I never miss a workout, so to say. I never like intend to do it and miss it. I always get my workouts in. So that's important to me. And I try to stress that with my members too, you know, if you make a doctor's appointment on Monday at 3 o'clock, you don't call the doctor and say, hey, listen, I can't make it because I give my friend a ride to work. So I tell everybody, treat your workout time like a doctor's appointment, right? Something you'll never cancel and you'll never miss, right?
I love that. I love that. Just in case people don't know about my zone. So what's your training intensity about my zone?
So basically there's different colors, right, with the MyZone, right? So it starts with gray, which means you're not really moving that much. And then it goes green, blue, and then green, blue, yellow, and then red. And what it does is it tells you what percentage of your maximum heart rate that you're working at, right? So if you see that, you know, you're in the red and you're in red for a long time, that means that your heart's probably going to explode, and you should kind of, you know, dumb it down a little bit, right? You know, I forget, it's green, then blue, right? So it's like blue and yellow are like the ideal, you know, fat burning zone. And then like the yellow and the red are for when you want to try to enhance that metabolic and that cardio work. So if you're doing a cardio workout and you're not in the yellow some of the time, then you're really not doing any cardio, right? So you want to make sure that you're staying in the zone, and it kind of gives you a gauge and a measure of where you are.
So when you train, so basically say you train 30 to 40 minutes. So how long is your yellow and red zone?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. So like last Sunday, I wore my heart rate monitor and I did a 3.5 hour mountain bike ride with some friends. I was in the yellow most of the time because mountain biking is unpredictable. You're doing a lot of hills, and so there's unpredictable terrain. So you can't really dictate that. But when I lift weights, and like a couple of weeks ago, I was doing bench pressing, and I did like 20 reps. I went full, you know, all out for high reps. I got in the red a little bit, right? But most of the time when I'm weight training, it stays between green and blue. But like when I'm doing the cardio work, I'm usually in the yellow or in the red. So it depends. It's like I can't really pinpoint a specific amount of time I'm in each zone. And you know what? Most of the time, Joe, like I don't even know what I'm doing until after I'm done my workout, and I look and I'm like, okay, good, that was a good workout, because that's where I got. Because I don't, in the gym we have a TV, but when I'm in the woods, you can't be looking at the heart rate zone when you're trying to avoid rocks and logs and stuff, right? So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the trails and not the my zone, you know?
Yeah, that's right. So basically, red is you breathing like,
Yeah.
and then yellow is like,
Yellow and red are very close.
Yeah. Like that's right. So I would say when you think you're gonna about to like hard to breathe, that's yellow.
Yeah.
And then just a little less is that's red, and then that's a little less. So say 90+% of your effort is red,
Yeah.
and then in between 80 to 90% of I would say yellow.
Yep.
And then
Exactly.
70 to 80%, like green or something, right? So you like hardcore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So let me see if I can pull up my last workout. I'm not real good with the technology here, so let me just see if I can get a rundown of my.
Yeah, I love to see because so when you do that, I can guess about you burn like what 500 to 700 calorie.
No, more. Like last week, I burned over 1,000 calories doing my.
1 hour.
No, it was like a 3 hour. It was like.
That's right. So I'm talking about like hour.
So let me see here.
Because I try to burn about 400 to 600 calories per hour. So not too crazy, not too easy.
I don't know if you can see that, but this was like my last mountain bike ride. Like there was
wow, it's like it's really good, like really good.
A lot of yellow there, right? So yeah, a lot of yellow in that one. But then I did a weight training workout on actually my legs with Tuesday. I did a weight training workout the other day, and like you can see, there's like a lot of blue, and
yeah.
So different workouts have different different intensities. So, and you asked the amount of calories. So let me just see here. So average amount of calories burned. One workout was 589, another was 1,028.
Yeah.
Another one was 227, right? The mountain bike ride, I burned 2,300 calories, riding.
Wow.
Like I said, it was 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I measured up 550 MEPs. So
wow.
it was about 73% of my maximum heart rate most of the time on average.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. So how to keep, you're not exercising really easy, pretty high, but how to have like an injury-free athlete or trainee for a long time? How to do that? What's the secret about your training?
Well, I do a lot of warm-ups, right? So I make sure I warm up my muscles, right? I don't stretch so much. I think warming up is more important than stretching because, again, the jury's out where overstretching can kind of weaken the ligaments and the joints and stuff like that. So you don't want to be too hypermobile with your stretching, but I warm up each muscle group. I've had back injuries since I was like 20 years old. So I'm really cautious of working my core. I have a little morning routine where I wake up every day and I do 4 different exercises, right? So I get up, I do some forward flexions. I drop down, I do some push-ups, I do some sit-ups for my core, and I do some glute bridges. So I repeat that a couple times, like as soon as I wake up, just to get my blood flowing, right? Because I don't want to be stiff when I leave the house, right? So I do that first thing in the morning. And then, like I said, when I do my legs, I do a bunch of walking lunges, I do some bear crawls, I do like a really good warm up so I can really activate the whole system, right? I want to activate my whole central nervous system, and I don't just warm up the muscles I'm training, I warm up the whole body. So I believe warm up is a big factor in training injury free. Plus, I've been doing this for so long that my form is on point. You know what I mean? I never lift with bad form. Like I never jerk up a weight. Like if and it's also a little bit being sensible. Like I don't go more than what I know I can handle. So I just got back into deadlifting again, and I was kind of happy that I got into over the 315 pound mark with my deadlift. So, but it took me a little time. I didn't just jump up to that. I gradually, like week by week, I went up a little bit. So incremental changes in the load and like good warm-ups and just knowledge of what training with good form, and not like jerking and arching your back and doing stupid things just to lift the weight. If I can't do the weight, I put it down. Like I don't force it, So I train as hard as I can, and I try to stay in the 8-10 rep range. Maybe every now and then I'll go 5 or 6 for the heavy days, but if I can't get 5 reps, the weight's too heavy for me, and I don't do it. So
just because you have a great genetic, or do you think anyone can, any age, 52 years old age, they can do what you do? What do you think?
Genetics is a bunch of crap. I mean, unless you are predispositioned with some kind of a disease or something like that, which very few people are. right? And people always blame it on genetics. So my mother was fat, my father was fat, that's why I'm fat. No, you're fat because you're lazy, right? Because you don't work out, you don't eat right. Again, there's some thyroid issues, and I'm very sensitive to people that have legitimate issues, right? So if you can't help it, then you can't help it. But 90% of people can help it. And, you know, my dad, you know, my mother and my father, my mother's 5'7", my dad was like 6 feet. So for you know, they were tall for their age. But, you know, the thing is, I'm a hard gainer, right? And I tell this to people that, you know, it's tough for me to build muscle mass, right? Because I'm tall and I'm skinny and I'm lanky. I have long arms, right? So I struggle as much as some, like, I believe it's easier to lose fat than it is to build muscle, right? And you agree, because you know you're a muscle guy, right? You want to build muscle. So like a tall, skinny guy, it's tough for me to build muscle. So I struggle more to build and try to maintain like over a 200-pound frame than somebody that's trying to drop some weight. So, you know, genetics, like I'm genetically on the other way, where I'm a hard gainer. I have to work really hard. I have to eat like a lot of protein and good quality food. And we can talk about nutrition after, but you know, so genetics works, you know, one way or another. But I don't believe that's a factor. I believe, you know, hard work and discipline can overcome bad genetics. So
Yeah, I believe that it's about consistency and hard work, right?
of course.
That's right. Let's talk about your nutrition. So what's your nutrition like? How many times a week, a day do you eat? And then what time start your breakfast, and then what time you finish your dinner? So tell us about your secret sauce.
Okay. Number one, hydration is key. So I weigh 200 pounds. I make sure I try to get 100 ounces of water in a day. Now, I'll give you a quick routine. I get up every morning, and immediately before I can even see out the window, I drink a 16-ounce glass of water, right? So I drink that right down. I walk right.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Because in Canada, we don't really know about ounce. So Korea as well. So basically that bottle is, how many ounces is it?
This is 16.9.
16.9. So how much ounce you drink per day?
So I drink 100. So
100. So that's 100. So 16. So that's you drink that, what? So how many bottles is this?
Probably 7 bottles of this.
Yeah, that's good.
7, 8 bottles of this, right?
Oh, okay.
So I usually go by like I have a metal canteen that's 25 ounces. So I make sure I drink 4 of those a day. But first thing in the morning, I get up and I drink right from the start, at least this amount. And then what I'll do is I'll fill my glass again. I'll drink half. And then with this other half, I use this product called Truline. And I have this stuff called Ageless Greens, right? Which is like you know, if you don't eat a lot of vegetables, it's, you know, it's like getting a serving of vegetables. And I also, this thing called a wellness shot, which has ginger, turmeric, all that stuff. So I think immunity is strong, right? Because you can't be your fullest potential if you're sick all the time, right? So I make sure that I try to stay hydrated, and I try to keep my immune system nice and strong, right? So I try not to eat any inflammatory foods, right? So I pretty much stay away from dairy, gluten, soy products, you know, most processed food. I'm not gonna lie, I do like a pizza, I do like a burger on the weekends. I do have some cheat meals, but pretty much during the week, I try to stay away from processed food. I try to eat whole foods. So breakfast time, I generally don't eat till I'm done at the gym. So I get up usually, depending on, you know, if I have to coach my early morning sessions, I wake up at 4 a.m. I drink my water, and I always have a couple of protein shakes a day. I mix that with almond milk and, you know, usually a half a banana and some peanut butter. I have 2 protein shakes a day, and I have 3 meals. And my meals consist of, you know, organic, free range, organic eggs, grass-fed beef, free-range chicken, organic vegetables. So I try to, you know, eat as good of a quality of a nutrition plan as I can.
That's amazing quality. And then when I look at your photo, that's looking very exciting. Not, you know, a lot of people think it's you eating healthy food and that's boring food, but your food are looking amazing.
No, so I mean, I tell people that too when I do my nutrition consults. I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to eat cardboard and styrofoam. I'm going to tell you to eat good quality foods, and you want to use some spices. I'm not a great cook, but I can put it together okay. You know what I mean? Like, I can make things taste good. I use a lot of ghee. It's like a clarified butter. I eat a lot of fat, right? A lot of good quality fats. So a lot of olive oil on my salads. I don't use any bottled salad dressings. I don't use any condiments of that. I do use an organic mayonnaise because I do like mayonnaise on some things. But I use olive oil, sea salt, like the unrefined, what do they call it? Unprocessed sea salt. I use that on my food because salt is electrolytes, and I believe you need to replace the salt you sweat out during the day. All my beef I get ground. I only buy grass-fed beef. I buy wild caught fish. I actually made some great codfish the other day, and I said, I don't eat enough fish. I got to eat more fish. And the salmon, I try to only eat wild caught salmon. When I do have fish, but I'm a big beef eater. I like I said, grass-fed beef, and I eat beef sometimes twice a day. And when I go to my doctor's and he sees my cholesterol is like 152, he's like, what do you do? He goes, you must not eat any red meat. I'm like, no, doctor, actually, it's quite the opposite, And then he starts taking notes. He's like, I'm giving him nutrition advice. It's like, didn't you're supposed to know more than me. You're a doctor. But, the problem is doctors don't really focus on nutrition. They just focus on putting Band-Aids on the problem. So like, I try to, be proactive and not need the doctor for medication and stuff like that. So I just go for my annual checkups, but that's pretty much my routine, organic vegetables. When I do eat carbs, people are like, oh, you must not eat any carbs. No, I eat carbs. I eat sweet potatoes. I eat quinoa. I eat steel cut oatmeal. A lot of nuts, like raw, not roasted, not salted, but raw nuts like pecans, cashews, and walnuts are my favorite. Do like some seeds, like pumpkin seeds once in a while. So yeah, again, you don't need to be boring. You don't need to eat just egg whites, and I eat the whole egg. I eat all the fat. I make sure I buy good quality free range eggs, because when you look at the color of the yolk with a good quality egg, I wish I had a couple of things that had some yellow in it, but a good quality egg is not. I got my fat model here. It's like a deep yellow color, right? It's not a bright yellow color. So that you're getting a good quality egg yolk, and there's a lot of lecithin. There's a lot of good amino acids in the yolk. People throw the yolk away. I'm like, no, that's a wasting. You're wasting all the protein and all the good fats, and my cholesterol is great. So I feel like I'm doing something. The numbers don't lie, right? So if people are like, oh, well, you're just lucky. No, it's not lucky. I've been doing this for, 30 years, and my cholesterol has been under 150, and I eat a ton of red meat and a ton of eggs, and lots of fats every day. I don't even like measure anymore. I just eat when I'm hungry. So like I said, 3 meals usually a day and 2 shakes a day. And that's my nutrition plan.
Amazing. Like you are what you eat, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's right. How about, like drink alcohol or coffee or tea or something?
I do drink. Well, so I did every now and then I'll do a juice cleanse, because like, I know when I'm going too much with the coffee. Like I try to minimize and keep it to 1 a day. Last week I did a juice cleanse, and when you do a cleanse, you drink 4 juices and you only eat a couple of small meals a day. No caffeine, nothing like that, right? So, what was happening was I was been so busy. I've been up early, and in the afternoon I get a little tired, so I've been drinking, too much coffee. And I said, you know what? I got to cut it out. Like, so I cut coffee for a few days. And then I started drinking green tea. So I drink a little green tea in the morning, and maybe I'll have a coffee later, but I try not to drink caffeine after like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I can get some good sleep. And we're going to talk about sleep too, because I know that was one of the things.
Yeah, that's right. How about the drink alcohol?
Infrequently. If I'm in the mood, like it's not a regular for me. Like I can't say when people say how many drinks a week do you have, I said, you're better off to go by the month, and maybe 2 drinks a month, if that. Some months I'll go without drinking at all.
What do you drink?
I drink like straight up, like either Tito's vodka, or I'll drink like a good quality tequila. Again, even when I drink my alcohol, I make sure I drink top shelf and stuff that's not going to give me a headache. And even the vodka I drink is like Tito's or Crystal Head, or like a gluten-free vodka, because some vodka is made with grain, some's made from potatoes, different things. So Chopin, so there's different vodkas that are cleaner than others. I mean, it's still alcohol, it's still sugar. But again, I try to, if I'm gonna eat junk food, if I'm gonna have a cookie, I'll go to a nice local bakery and get a local artisan baked chocolate chip cookie, as opposed to a packaged supermarket brand chocolate. So, again, there are different degrees of like quality. You can even get good quality junk food, right? If you're smart about it, right? Like I won't eat a birthday cake from a supermarket because it's all artificial colors and dyes and stuff like that. But when there's a local bakery that they put a lot of care into their food and they use good quality ingredients, I mean, sugar's sugar, right? I'm not in denial. Like when I eat it, I'm like, I know I'm not eating what I'm supposed to, but I think it's a better quality. It's not going to be as harmful to my body as eating something that's like really processed and mainstream manufactured by like a big company, you know? So, but the alcohol, yeah, I can live, like if somebody told me I have to live without drinking for the rest of my life, I wouldn't bother me at all. I just drink sometimes when I want to just chill out at home and have a quick scotch or something like that, you know, or a Tito's or a tequila, and I drink it straight. I was talking to somebody about that today, and they're like, "How can you drink it straight?" I said, "Because if you put anything that tastes good, I'd be drinking way too many if it tastes too good, right? So if I drink it straight, it slows me down, and you know, my days, you know, back in the day when I was younger, I used to be able to put it away, but I just, you know, it doesn't do you any good. It makes you feel like crap when you wake up the next day. So I just try to avoid it, you know.
You know what? You look okay. So I'm Asian. You know, Asian people, you look usually pretty young, right?
Yeah.
But you know, like I don't see a lot of Caucasian looking just like you. You know what? You can tell. You know, you probably agree. Like you look 30s. I'm not joking. Like
Appreciate that, you know. And you know, I still got all my hair, right? That's the good thing, right? My dad's all bald, right? But my mother's father had hair, so you know, so I'm happy about that. I still got all my hair, and that helps me a little bit, you know. That's something you can't control, but I mean, I'm lucky. Like I'm lucky. Again, like a lot of like what's hair up, that's luck, right? What's hair down, right? You know, so I don't, whatever. It's, you know, it just happened to draw a good straw on that age thing. Like
but really, you really take care of. Sounds like you really take care of yourself.
I do. And my girlfriend introduced me to some cream. She's like, "Oh, you got to keep this," because she's 12 years younger than me. So she's like, "Hey, I want to keep you looking young. I don't want an old man, you know." So I use a little bit of face cream, but nothing like, not bow tie. I don't do nothing like that. I'm not, you know, just some topical, you know, just to keep my skin from being dry too. You know, your skin is your biggest organ. People don't realize that, but your skin is your biggest organ. And I just installed a whole house filter in my house. So like all the water in my house, when I take a shower, it's all purified water. I don't use any, once in a blue moon when I'm going to be working all day and I don't want to smell, I use like a little bit of deodorant, but most of the time, like, you know, I don't use any kind of toxic things on my body. Like I use a good soap that's like handmade. I don't use like a lot of toxic laundry detergent and that stuff either, because again, those are neurological, they attack your neurological system, you know, and you know, it's like if you're an exterminator and you're breathing chemicals all day, you're going to start, like, things are going to go wrong with you. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the things we put on our bodies. If we use a lot of toxic, you know, lotions and a lot of toxic, you know, deodorants, like I read articles that they have like aluminum and they can attack your lymph nodes. So if you're using too much deodorant and stuff like that, you know, and that's a sensitive part of your body where it absorbs right into your bloodstream. So, you know, I haven't used toxic deodorant in a while. So, you know, I take it to that next level, you know?
That's right. You know, like, your skin can absorb basically everything you put it on. So me too. I don't put something I can't eat. I put coconut oil.
Yes.
And olive oil. And then, you know, like same thing. Like my laundry machine, I put vinegar or baking soda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my the dishwasher, same thing. I do vinegar or baking soda.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
It makes a difference because it's a little bit at a time, but a little bit at a time adds up to a lot.
Absolutely. Like, you know, if you like intake, eating or whatever, smelling or your air increase toxicity and you increase estrogen, right? So
yep. Even this is not good. These plastic bottles are not good either, but.
Yeah, but you know, I just, because of when I talk, you know, and then, you know, I my lip got dry, so I did some organic lip balm. That's not the best too, but you know, we minimize that, something not the best.
You can't be 100% perfect unless you live in a bubble, but you know.
Partakes. Yeah, well, he said, you know, I remember last fall doctor, right? You know.
Yeah.
Last fall doctor. We went, right? We together, right?
Yep.
That's right. So now let's talk about your sleep. Sleep, very important. So what's your sleep protocol? So yeah, so share about your sleep protocol.
Well, I try to stay off the computer at least 2 hours, 3 hours before. Like I try to shut my computer and stuff off at like before 7 o'clock at night. And depending on what time I need to wake up the next day, I reverse engineer 8 hours, right? So if I'm gonna get up at 4, I try to get to bed. I'm better at 7 because if I try to get 8, I wake up an hour too early, right? So I know that I dial in at about 7.5 hours sleep, right? 8 is obviously the magic number everybody says, but if you're getting lay down in bed for 8 hours and you're gonna wake up an hour early and just sit there and think about things, like it's no sense, right? So I try to I reverse engineer 7 or 8. So if I'm getting up at 4 in the morning, I try to get to bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock the latest, right? Most mornings I need to get up at 6. Like I said, I wake up either 4, 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So I just kind of back that off and I try to stay away from this blue light will keep me up where I can watch TV and fall right asleep, right? So I try not to watch TV at least like a half an hour before I go to bed. I do like to unwind and sit down and watch a little Law and Order or Chicago PD, right? So, and again, that doesn't really bother me because sometimes I fall asleep while I'm watching TV, right? So I try to make sure that I don't do that and then wake up and be like, oh man, it's 11:30. I got to walk upstairs and go to bed. So I make sure that like, okay, as much as I want to watch the ending of the show, I can't. I got to go to bed. So I shut it off and then I go up and I make sure I go to bed. So, I take my phone, I keep it in my closet, right? I don't put my phone near my bed. And just like I said, I try to shut it down. And then Sunday mornings, like when I don't want to wake up, I put the blinds up. I make the room really dark. Most of the time I wake up, it's still dark out, but I have some light block blinds. So on Sunday, I sleep a little bit later, like 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, because I need that rest. But there's nothing more important than the rest. Obviously I can't say nothing because everything that we just talked about, the hydration, the nutrition, the exercise, and the water, those are the four things, right? I tell people it's very simple to stay healthy in life, right? You stay hydrated, eat quality food, you exercise, and you get your sleep. Pretty simple, but it's not that easy for everybody, so that's pretty much my sleep routine. And I never hit snooze. Like once my alarm gets off, I get up, I turn it off, and I'm up for the day. Like, and you asked me before about naps. The other day I was on a Zoom call and I was like really tired because I had gotten up really early and it was the middle of the day and I'm sitting in my house and I'm on a Zoom call and I could feel myself start to nod out. So I said, you know what? Once the Zoom call was over, I shut it off. I grabbed a 15-minute power nap and I wake up, and believe it or not, 15 minutes, it's almost like recharging. It's like if your phone dies, right? And you plug it in for like 20 minutes, you get about 75% more energy, right? It comes back. I didn't feel like I had just had a good night's sleep, but man, I woke up and I was full of energy for the second half of the day. So, lately at work, it's been real busy. So I've been working kind of split shifts. I've been working in the morning, going home, getting something to eat, maybe taking a nap if it permits. Even sometimes in the car, like if I pull up somewhere and I feel really tired, I'll put the seat back, I'll set my alarm, I'll take a quick nap in the car, So if I need it, I'll do it, but most days I can pretty much push right through, until bedtime. So.
How about temperature, room temperature? Do you know?
I don't, like in the wintertime, like you're in Canada, so you get some cold nights, right? So I don't like it too hot, like 66 to 68. And then in the summertime, I don't love air conditioning. I don't love it to be ice cold in the thing. Like I actually like to be a little bit warmer now. I sleep good. I have a nice king size, beautiful mattress that I spent a lot of money on, right? And a light down comforter and a sheet, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I also invest a good amount of money for a good mattress.
Isn't it crazy? Like I couldn't believe, like when I walked out of the store, I'm like, did I just spend that much on a mattress? And it's like, hey, you spending 8 hours a day on it, right? You gotta be good.
Well, 1/3 of your life.
Yeah.
That's right. How about supplements?
Yeah, I do minimal. Like I do a protein supplement, right? Because it's tough to eat all that food. So I do a protein shake twice a day. And like I said, in the morning, I take my my wellness shot, and I take my powdered greens, and I take a serving of L-glutamine. L-glutamine is good for it helps muscle soreness and recovery. So I do that, and you know, not a lot. I don't really have a shelf full of supplements. I did because I just had Lyme disease last year. I think from being in the woods and stuff. So I went to this naturopath doctor, and I was on like 6 or 7 different supplements, but I'm all done with that now. I only do that if, like, you know, I need to like repair or rejuvenate my health. But you know, for the most part, I think you know, if you eat well, again, it's tough to get as many 6, 7 servings of vegetables in a day. So I supplement with my Ageless Greens. So I get more, you know, more greens and antioxidants in. And, you know, the protein, again, I don't want to be eating, you know, it gets too expensive to eat all that meat all day. So you know, I supplement with some protein. But that's pretty much it. I don't go crazy with the supplements. We do have a hydration thing. Like I carry this line here. So I'm going to do some shameless self-promotion here, but we carry this line of True Lean. And there's this stuff called Everyday Fit, right? A lot of people are like, I can't drink water. Water's boring all day, right? So I'm saying, just put a scoop of this Everyday Fit. It's all natural. It's got some stevia in it, but other than that, it's got some, you know, electrolytes and stuff, and it makes your water taste really good. So every now and then I'll put a scoop of that in there. Like when I'm bored and I'm like, my 10th bottle of water today, let me make it taste good. And I do that. But, you know, I'm very good about getting my water in, so I don't really need, you know, to trick myself, but you know, a lot of people do. So I you know, I saw that kind of supplement for my people that don't get enough hydration, and it works well because it tastes good, you know.
Yeah. So what about like CBD?
I have done CBD. I'd rather get the real stuff than you know the CBD, but yeah, CBD works well. You know, I did like at night, every now and then, like if I'm wound up and there's a lot going on, I'll spray the oil, and then I'll sleep, or I'll do a melatonin once in a while. But I don't want to get it, you know, I don't want to make it an everyday thing, because, you know, it's like anything, like the coffee. Like once you drink too much coffee stops making you feel awake, you know? So same thing with the melatonin. Like I'm always afraid that I'll develop a tolerance to it and it won't work, you know? So I do a little bit here and there, a little bit of melatonin once in a while, and then CBD. I don't do both together because I want to be able to make sure I wake up in the morning, you know? I don't want to sleep that hard, you know? So yeah, CBD once in a while. And I'll tell you, if I'm sore, like if I got like a little injury or something like that, I got the CBD balm, and I can't believe how well it works. Like sometimes I'm like, this is snake oil. I put it on and I wake up the next day, I'm like, this is impossible. I can't, this couldn't have worked that fast. I got to be honest with you, man. I was a skeptic, but CBD, you got to get a good quality though, because it's like the Wild West of that crap out there. You know, everybody's making CBD, and half of it's bullshit, right? So you got to really find a reputable. Same thing with the supplements, right? You look at GNC, right? You go to a GNC. They have a kid working there that's still in high school that knows nothing about nutrition, right? And he's selling you these supplements that he knows nothing about, right? And half this stuff is loaded with artificial flavors, artificial fillers, you know, chemicals, artificial everything, you know? And it's like, you actually, this is the crap I'm telling you not to, you know? So it's same thing with the CBD. I don't want to lose track of what I was saying, but the CBD, you can get really poor quality. But you can also get good quality. And I go to, like, I have a naturopath, you know, an apothecary store near me that we've, you know, done some collaborating with over the years. And it's called Evolve Apothecary, and they sell some really good stuff. So I trust buying stuff from there. So my dad too, he's a florist. He sells some CBD, some good quality CBD as well. So yeah, good stuff. I do believe in it now. I'm a believer.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, but we can find that in Canada. But, you know, like design, I love Design for Health company. I don't get any money from them, but you know, so if I can access some CBD here, so I love to do that. It's not only about, so CBD myself improve quality of sleep, and then deep sleep, and then also brain detoxification, right? Detox, and then reduce inflammation. I think it's amazing. And then L-glutamine also is good for the gut too. So I love it as well. Yeah, but not all the time. You should make your lifestyle amazing. So you should be able to sleep better. You should be able to not creating much inflammation, but we're not living the perfect world. You know, when we do overtraining, overworking, you know, something, then like biohacking, right?
Yeah.
But shouldn't be all the time.
No. Once in a while. Yep. You don't want to get, you don't want to get like I said, you develop a tolerance for things and it stops working,
That's right. You need more.
It's like a perfect example is testosterone, right? So if you're injecting testosterone, right, your body stops producing it, right? So, and again, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and he goes, I'm 41. He goes, I need this, he's taking like doctor prescribed testosterone and stuff like that. Like I'm 52, I still don't need it, but I reserve the right where if I turn 60 and I'm like losing strength and losing muscle, then I'm going to start talking about, that, but like not now. Like I don't want to start doing stuff now prematurely. And then then your body really shuts down, So it's like, again, our bodies are amazing machines. Like I tell people all the time, like we have that fight or flight and our body does like things that we don't tell it to do. And it works naturally, So you have that sympathetic, that fight or flight nervous system. And like, your body will repair itself if you rest it, like the earth, you know what I mean? Like if you stop building and polluting the earth, it's going to grow back, right? And your body's the same way, it regenerates, but you can't, you got to let it do it itself. You can't rely on, outside sources all the time, right? So, like I said, good quality food, like we're cellular. Somebody, I think it was Sean Stevenson, he's got the Model Health Show there. I don't know if you ever listened to his podcast, super, super smart guy. And he said, everything we have is made from food, right? Your eyes are made from food. Your hair is made from food, right? Your skin is made from food. Your muscles are made from food, right? So, again, if you feed yourself properly, you don't need a lot of outside different things. But, again, like sometimes like you need more, like when we're like you and I, like we're active, we're athletic, we need more protein than the average individual. We need more antioxidants. We need more vitamins and minerals than the average person. So, sometimes you do need to bring in that outside supplementation, to enhance your production and your performance, right? So.
Yeah, that's right. But always primary source from the food.
First, yeah.
Yeah. So now this question, if you can only do 10 minutes a day, rest of your life, what kind of a movement or exercise you're going to do?
I just do like a full body weight workout. I would do, some squats, some push-ups, some core work, some hyperextension. Again, I balance the body out, right? So if I work one side, I work the other side, right? So if I'm working posterior chain, I work front, right? So if I do some abs, I flip over and I do some reverse Supermans, right? I do some push-ups, I'll do some pull-ups, right? I do some squats, I do some RDLs. I can make just about anybody sweat in 10 minutes, right? So you don't need anything. You don't need any equipment, just what's right here. And you can make a great workout in 10 minutes. If I had to for the rest of my life, that's all I had to do. I would just come up with a little body weight circuit. I'd make it a little different each day. During COVID, we had to get really creative in the gym, right? Because most people at home weren't prepared. They didn't have equipment. So we did body weight workouts every day. And every day we changed them up and made them different, right? Different formats, different cadences, different tempos. And you don't need a fancy gym. You don't need equipment. All you need is what's right here in front of you, but you just got to know how to do it, right? You got to know how to challenge yourself, right? So I can challenge you with anything, right? Give me a sandbag, give me a shovel, give me anything, a hammer. I don't know, anything, I can work like I said, if I was locked in my office for the rest of my life and I could only work out for 10 minutes a day, I would figure out a way.
I believe you because, you have knowledge and experience.
Yeah.
So the other question, if you can only eat 5 to 7 things rest of your life, what would you eat and why?
All right, 5 to 7 things. All right.
That's it. 5 to 7 things. Okay.
All right. So beef, I love meat, right? Olive oil. I love olive oil. Rice. I believe it or not, I like rice. Right?
Oh.
Right? Sweet potato and salmon. I could live off that forever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Very balanced, right?
Pretty balanced. Yep. Fat, carbs, protein, right? Those are the 3 things you need.
That's right.
I don't believe in elimination, right? People are like, oh, I'm going on a no carb diet. I'm like, why? I mean, I believe fats and carbs are somewhat interchangeable, right? So either eat a high fat or a good carb diet. So when I break down my nutrition plans for people, I always say 40% protein because we want to build muscle, right? Build muscle, build that metabolism, right? Build that base of muscle, right? You can't build muscle without raw materials, right? You're not going to build muscle eating lettuce, right? You'll build muscle eating protein, right? So I always believe in 40% protein and either 30-30 carbs and fats or 20% carbs, 40% fat. So I either go 40, 40, 20 or 40, 30, 30, right? And I say carbs and fats are kind of interchangeable, right? So if you eat a big salad, right, with lettuce, no carbs in lettuce, and you put olive oil on it, that's either fat, or you can put legumes like beans or something or like that. So either one or the other. I think they're pretty interchangeable. I always tell people when I'm breaking down a nutrition plan, I say calories, meet your calorie budget, get that protein goal in. And those are the two things that are going to prevent you from eating too much and gaining fat and prevent you from losing muscle, right? So that's my midline right here. That's my military base right here. When you go carbs and fats, like you can go, as long as you're not breaking that. So say I gave you 2,000 calories a day and you said you wanted to, obviously you don't want to lose weight, you're a different thing. But a person comes to me, says, I want to lose some weight. Okay, I'm going to give you 1,500 calories a day, right? This is your calorie budget. Do not go over this calorie budget. But when we break it down and reverse engineer it, I want to see 40% protein. And even if you don't meet the 1,500 calories, right, still by keeping that protein budget, you're going to make sure that you're building muscle, right? And you'll be burning fat too, right? So again, you need some carbs to support it too. Right? You can't just eat all protein because, you'll really waste away, right? So you got to have some, our bodies need fat, right? If you're lower than 10% body fat, that's not a good place to be, right? So 10% body fat is really lean for a male, unless you're getting on stage for a bodybuilding show, but that's not sustainable, right? So if you're 4% body fat, you can't keep that forever. And then, females is like 18 to 28%. So we want to keep our body fat. I'm more honed in now on body composition than I am weight, so.
You are absolutely right. Exactly. So now, if you can say 20 years of yourself, what kind of advice you will give yourself? Any advice?
If I could go to my 20-year-old self, number one, I would tell myself to not get into trouble, because I got into some trouble in my early 20s, right? So I would say, listen, there's no easy way to make big money, even though I thought there was, and I took a few swings and I struck out a couple of times. So I'd say there's no easy way to make money. And I would say, which I do anyway, but I would say never stop your self-development, right? Always try to learn. But what I would have said is learn the components of a business when I was younger, because I've been a coach my whole life, right? I've been a coach since I was like 23 years old. I've only been an entrepreneur or business person for the past 7 years, right? I've always worked one-on-one with people, made cash. I've never run a business with systems and been a good leader and all that. So back at 20, I would have said, start working on your leadership skills and start working on your learning economics and numbers, because I had no knowledge of that. I was like money in, money out. Like I didn't know, and I'm still learning. Like I learned later in life that like you really need to know your numbers, and it's still a work in progress for me. So if I'd go back and say 20, hey, listen, if you're going to start a business, work on your leadership skills, right? That's the number one most important thing. Not marketing, not advertising, right? Learn your leadership skills first. Then you'll learn your marketing and your sales and all that. But being a good leader will help you with everything. And leadership is the problem. Leadership is the solution in every business, right? So I would tell my 20-year-old self, there's no easy way out. You're not going to make fast money easy. Be smart with your money, learn to be a better leader, and learn how to work your numbers, right? So I would have given myself that, because I was already working out health. I was already working out. I already had my sights set on, having a healthy lifestyle and stuff. And, again, I was 20s. I partied a lot. I'm not going to lie, but I was always like in the gym. I was always working out. I was always like, I have what do you want to call it? An obsessive compulsive personality. So whenever I do, like when I started working out, a few years later, I wanted to do a bodybuilding show and I wanted to compete as a bodybuilder. So I did. I started mountain biking. Like I want to race. So I started racing, right? I got into boxing. I said, all right, I want to compete. I tried to compete in the Golden Gloves. I got hurt before a bout. So my friends are like, can you do anything without competing? I was like, nah, I don't know. I got this competitive nature to me. So I got to compete at everything I do. So I always had that drive to compete and to, think big. So I wouldn't need to give myself that advice, but I would say think big, but think smart. Don't think easy way out, right? And I did. I was trying to make easy money fast, and I got into trouble, and I wasted a few years of my life with that. But again, the few years of my life that I wasted, I learned a lot from, and it changed me. I could have gone the wrong way if I didn't get into trouble, So I mean, I did go the wrong way, but I could have gone further on the other side. It pulled me back, getting into trouble. So I learned my lesson, is what I'm basically trying to say. So those are the things I would say: leadership, and, you know, be smart about things.
So, you know, we all make mistake. And then when I looking at you right now, you are like a role model for everybody, right? But, you know, human being, we make mistake. So how to get out from the mistake to overcome? Like how to do that?
Well, you can't be resilient to change, right? So when you make the same mistake over and over again, right, you're just plain stupid, right? You gotta, you know, you can't be, like I said, you know, you gotta be willing to change, and you gotta be willing to flow, you know, like we're in an ever changing society, right? Like these past like 20 years, like things have changed so much. Like before that, like things didn't really change that much, right? But with all the technology and stuff, you need to adapt, right? So so when you make a mistake, right, you just can't be thick-headed and say, oh, I'm going to try again. No, if it already put you in a bad position, then change it and readjust and pivot and do something different, right? You can't be resilient to change, because if you are, then you are going to keep making the same mistake over and over again. So that's you know, again, I'm an old school guy. I have, you know, my grandfather was a World War II veteran. He was very old school, you know, never believed in all this technology. My dad's an old, you know, he's a hippie type of guy. Like he's kind of old school too. And I am deep down, but on the surface though, like I know that like we need to change and go with the flow. Otherwise you're going to, you know, evolve or die. You know what I mean? That's like pretty much, you know, the philosophy. So, you know, again, we make mistakes, but the whole thing is to use a mistake as feedback, not failure, but feedback, right? I'll never fail. I'll either learn, I'm stealing this from somebody, but I won't fail. I'll either learn or I'll win, right? So there's no failure. You either win or you learn, right? You don't fail, right? So again, I've made a lot of mistakes. I still make mistakes. Like sometimes I'll say, oh, this would be a good idea. Let's do this and we'll bring some members in the gym, and I'll get no members in the gym, right? So, okay, so I'm not going to do that again, right? Granted, there are some times you got to keep, you know, like if you're trying to climb Mount Everest, like you don't make it, you keep trying. But, you know, if you know that you can't get past the base camp, then you're probably not going to make it to the, so it's time to stop and go do something else. You know what I mean? You know,
Very realistic and a very good advice.
yeah.
So in your knowledge and experience, what is the most important things for our quality and longevity of our life?
Well, obviously it starts with your health, right? I mean, you got to take care of your health, right? Because if you're not healthy, you know, again, another saying that I hear, like a man with great health has 1,000 dreams. A man with poor health has one, you know? And, you know, it all starts with you. Like you can't give and you can't succeed if you're broken down, you know? And I don't care if you're, you know, if you're an executive that makes lots of money and you don't take care of yourself, then you're shortchanging yourself, right? The money's not going to do anything if you're dead at 42 years old, right? You know, I worked with a guy in sales, and great guy, smart guy, knew all the ins and outs of sales, but he was huge. And I said, you know, hey buddy, I said, why don't you come to me? Let me get you in shape. You know, you'll be more respected. You know what I mean? Like I can't respect. I mean, again, I respected the guy, but for the most part, like if somebody's going to come and bust me around and tell me what to do and they're out of shape, and like I'll have very little, like again, respect might be maybe the wrong word, but I'll have very little faith in what they say, and like it won't, you know. And again, I'm not saying that to be superficial and vain, but like I'm saying, like this guy doesn't even take care of himself, and he's telling me what to do. Like, I mean, come on, man, you gotta look within, right? So I feel like it all starts with you. And, you know, that's the most important thing is like taking care of yourself. And like you said in the very beginning, walk the walk, right? Don't dictate stuff that you're not doing, right? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be an imposter, right? So, you know, I'm over here coaching people, right? I have to stay in shape because I'm telling you to eat clean, you know. I'll give you a perfect example. I had these two women come in last week to sign up for a membership, right? And they had two daughters with them, right? And they were all not in good shape, right? And, you know, that's putting it, you know, again, I'm not here to judge anybody, right? So they were all not in great shape. So I said to the women, I said, listen, you guys got to lead by example. You guys got to set the example. I said, because your kids will do what you do, they might not do what you say, but they'll do what you do, right? They see what you do. They might not listen to what you say, but they see what you do. So you can't sit there eating donuts and pizza and telling your kid, no, you're going to eat a salad, right? How you going to transcend that message to somebody if you're not doing it yourself, right? So like I said, back to the question was, what's the most important thing is to actually live with your spewing. You know what I mean? You got to actually walk the walk, talk the talk, and be a product of what you do. Again, that imposter syndrome, right? You're telling somebody else to do it, but you're not doing it, right? Then you're kind of phony, right? And you're not going to get a lot of credibility. And then self-integrity too. It's like, I make a promise and I keep it, right? You make a promise to yourself. And a good thing is like, and most people think this is insignificant, but when you wake up in the morning, you set your alarm clock for 6 o'clock. You're telling yourself, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That alarm goes off and you hit the snooze. You've already lied to yourself and you've already lacked self-integrity for that day. So you're starting the day with a loss because you're going to get poor sleep for the next 9 minutes. I think the snooze cycle is 9 minutes, right? You're going to get poor sleep, right? And then you're going to hit it again. And then you're going to get up and you're going to be all frazzled. And you're going to rush and you're going to eat poorly and you're going to do, so you're already starting the day on a bad note, right? I like to start my day with a win. Like I get up, I don't hit the snooze button. I go on, I drink my water. That's what I tell people to do. Like, don't hit your snooze button, get up, start stretching, move around immediately, drink your water. If I'm not doing that, how am I going to get you to do it? Like, so it's, the important lesson is to like live by the sword, die by the sword, man,
That's right. You are exactly right. And I feel so happy for your members because they have amazing coach like you.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I do my best, buddy.
You're welcome. And now this question is, if you can only one day to live, okay, and then what do you do and what are you going to eat?
I mean, one day to live, if it's not going to matter.
I think I you know what, I'm thinking about like this kind of thing all the time, like nowadays, you see people come and go and this, I'm thinking sometimes what I'm going to do and what I'm going to eat. So what do you think?
I'm probably not going to eat steak and a salad, right? I might eat a big pizza and I wash it down with an ice cream sundae, I just let it all go, right? So, because I eat well, not because I don't like junk food. I love junk food, right? But if it's not going to matter tomorrow, then what the hell, man? I'm just going to go all out today, right? So,
Well, tell me a little bit more specific. What are you going to eat?
All right. Well, I'll probably start the day with some pancakes and with a lot of syrup on it, right? And then, for lunch, I might have and again, I eat this like once in a while, a burger or fries and some.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Keep going.
Right? A pizza. I'll have a pizza at night. Again, I won't drink. I don't need to get inebriated. That's not my way to end my life, right? But I'm going to eating comfort food and stuff that I enjoy eating. I'll call my mother and tell her to make me some macaroni and cheese. Gonna have a big bowl of macaroni and cheese, So, I'd probably go out and eat like all the foods that I normally restrict myself that I like to eat,
Then what are you gonna do?
Just sit, chill on the beach and relax, man. Just let the time go by, enjoy nature, enjoy some salt water, some fresh air. And, I'm not gonna, if it doesn't matter tomorrow, then, it's going to be a day of me just like relaxing and enjoying it. I mean, there's not like a lot of things like I'm not going to, I got a few things on my bucket list. I don't know. I might skydive, I may go skydiving because it's something that like I'm a little fearful of, but if I know I'm going to die tomorrow anyway, I'm going to take my chance, So I may skydive, and then I'm gonna gonna chill. I'm gonna enjoy the water, enjoy the sun, and that's another thing we didn't really talk about is vitamin D and sunlight, right? It's always good to get outside for a couple hours a day, sun and cancer and all that stuff. And this is what I learned from Paul Chek is that, you look at these islands and these countries of these people with really, really dark skin that are out in the sun all the time, their rates of skin cancer are very, very low, right? Because they eat good. So I believe cancer comes from within, right? So if you have toxins in your body and the sun will draw the toxins to the skin, right? Do you believe in this? I mean, is this like, absolutely. If you're clean on the inside and you're absorbing that vitamin D and that sunlight, you're going to be clean and you're going to be less susceptible to get skin cancer as opposed to somebody that's toxic inside and drawing those toxins out through your skin, right? So, So yeah, so just getting outside, being outside. Like I won't spend my last day indoors, that's for sure. Like I said, I'll be eating my pizza on the beach, or being outside and enjoying nature, and maybe even a walk in the woods and just kind of, feel. I love nature. You know what I mean? I love being outside. I love just kind of chilling. Yeah, that's why I like mountain biking so much, because it's you in touch with nature. So like I said, I may do something risky like skydiving, but for the most part, I'm going to enjoy the last day of my life and just kind of relax through it. Not gonna, not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna try to make any money because I don't need it. So,
Yeah, sounds good. So what are the top 3 things you learned past 2 years?
the last 2 years, right? So with the whole COVID thing, right? You got to learn to be resilient, right? You got to learn that your mindset is what's going to dictate your future, right? So if you're negative about everything, right? Which it was very tough not to get negative. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There were days where I was like, man, this is it. We're done, but I stayed in the fight, So I learned that you got to stay in the fight. You got to get up every day. You got to put both feet on the ground. A good book, Tiny Habits. When you wake up in the morning, you put your feet on the ground, you say it's going to be a great day, right? You got to start the day with positivity, right? Number 2 is you got to be accountable. You got to be accountable to yourself, right? As a business leader, everything that goes wrong in my business is my fault. Everything that goes right is my team. They did it. They did a great job, right? So you got to learn how to leave your ego at the door, right? Like when people say, "Oh, that was a great workout," I'm like, "Oh, good, Kyle wrote that one up," right? Whether I wrote it up or not, I'm like, "Hey, thank my team." I don't need to take credit for anything anymore, right? Back in the day when I was 20, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be the best trainer in the town," right? Now I want to just develop the best trainers in town, right? So so the 3 things that I've learned is you need to be resilient, right? You need to focus on the wins, and the 3rd thing is you just got to keep fighting every day, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. You got to do it anyway. There are days that I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel like getting up and facing the day. But laying in bed all day is not gonna solve any problems, right? I learned to overcome a lot of anxiety, by just doing, just by action. Action beats anxiety, So I think I kind of told you a lot of different things, more than just 3. But the 3 most important things are, right? You got to count the wins, check your ego at the door, and you got to get up and swing every day. You got to throw punches all day long, right? Bob and weave, duck and jive, and keep throwing punches, right? Never get out of the game. So
Good. So what is one book you recommend people to everyone should read? One for health, one for like general. 2 books, say.
All right. Well, I have over here, this is a very basic book here by Paul Chek. It's called Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. I'll tell you, it's so simple,
I have it.
but it's mind blowing, right? So you got that. And then another book I have on, there's a few good ones, but I think let's see, Extreme Ownership is a really good one, right? This one here, Jocko Willink, he's a Navy SEAL. This is pretty good because, he talks about when they were in Iraq and how leadership either kept guys alive or, guys died because of poor leadership, So those are 2 really good books. I gotta read Extreme Ownership again. It's been a long time, but I remember when I read it, like I did it on audio book too. And, he was really, really intense about it, Another good book that I had was, let me see if I can see it real quick. The 5 Choices. Yeah, this is a really good one too, about organizing your life. This is about good book about productivity, right? So this was a really good book too. I read that on vacation one year. So those are a couple books. I try to read at least 10 books a year. Right now I'm reading Tiny Habits. I just finished the E-Myth again. I read that. I read The Art of War again. It was, I don't know, mixed emotions about that. But I like I said, I got that way where like if I read a book, I got to read it whether I like it or not. I keep reading it until it's done. I can't stop a book halfway through. There's been a couple of books that I read. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get done with this book. But I read it anyway. I also read a really good book about It's called A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Very intense about the Holocaust. He was a Holocaust survivor, actually. And he just talked about, man, the mindset and how he just didn't let it take him away. Like he, you know, the suffering that he went through. I believe we all need to suffer a little bit to understand, you know, what pleasure feels like. So I do something every day, like to make myself suffer. Like I hate cold, but every day I finish my shower with a good 60 seconds of ice cold water, right? I just, you know, I lather up. I'm like nice and relaxed in the shower. And I'm like, all right, now I got to do this, right? And I'm like, maybe not today, but I'm like, nope. I got to do it. And I turn the water on cold. I sit there. I recite. I got a creed that I recite every day. And I recite my creed. It's like nine segments of this thing that I went through this Navy SEAL training, and it put me through a lot of suffering and pain for 3 full days. And, you know, I believe like if you make yourself suffer for a little bit, like even getting that one last set in, right? If you like, don't feel like doing another set, just do it anyway, right? If it's not going to hurt you or injure you, you got to do it, right? So, you know, pain and suffering, you know, builds resiliency and strength too. Like if you had too much of an easy life, then you can't handle the adversity that's thrown at us every day. Because every day you're gonna eat a shit sandwich, no matter what, right? No matter how good your life is going, every day something bad is gonna come at you, and how you respond to it, that's here, right? That's here. You can either let it get you down, and you know. I'll be honest with you. Like if somebody called me up right now and said, hey, listen, your house is burning down. Like I'm not a firefighter. I'm here on an interview. I'm focused on you right now. Like this is what I need to do. Like, you know, let the fire guys put it out. I don't let things bother me and get to me. Like I want, like 5 years ago, I might have panicked. Like I got to go, Joe. I got to get it. Like there's nothing I can do about it. Right. My house is burning down. Let the firefighters come and put it out. I'm not going to run in and try to save my TV. Right. What am I going to do? Right. So like, I don't let things, adversity and stuff, like, because you're going to face it every day. Right. If you're going to let it get you down, then you're going to be down every day. Right. So something goes wrong, a member is unhappy, I'll call them up. I'll try to solve the problem. Right. Hey, listen, like we're sorry. You know, we'll fix it. Right. Almost everything is fixable. You know, so it's like there's nothing worth letting it, you know, money's like one of those things where it's like those machines that blow money all over the place. You can either grab some, you walk out, or you're going to lose some. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. Like it's, you know, the thing is you focus on your health, you control what you can, you cope with what you can't, and you concentrate on what matters most to you, you know, and that's just pretty much how I try, you know, living my life now, you know.
I love your positivity.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. So what is your expectation for your longevity? For me, I think, I don't know, I'm going to change or not, but right now, I think I'm pretty confident I can live 90 to 128. Good. That's what I think. That's what I think. I hope that happen or even extend. So what do you think about yourself?
Well, if I base it on my grandparents, I've actually met all 4 of my grandparents, right? My mother's mother, I was very close with her. She lived into her 80s. My mother's father, I was not close with him at all, but when he started going downhill, my mother wanted to see him one last time. And I said, I never met the guy. Let me go. I at least want to meet him. Like, I don't care about him because he's never become part of my life. He lived into his 80s. My father's father lived to be 86. I was very close with him. And my grandmother's 97 and she's still alive. So I'm thinking I'll be in my 80s. I got about, and I look at, like, I have a thing over here called My Life in Weeks, right? I don't know if you see that chart on the wall. See all those little squares, right?
What is that?
It's called, it says My Life in Weeks, right? So all the squares on top are all the weeks I've already lived. All the squares on the bottom are what I got left if I live to be 85. So you notice it's a little top heavy. There's more filled out in black than there are left, right? So I got less years left to live than I've already lived, right? So I look at that a lot, and I like, we got to realize that we're mortal. Like life is not going to go on forever, right? So if everything works out right, I don't get hit by a train, I feel like I can be in my mid 80s, maybe more. I don't really care about the number. I just know that I want to live quality of life until the day they put me in the ground, right? So if I live to be 70, but every day was good and I was healthy and I wasn't sick, I don't care, right? I'd rather do that than live 10 years on machines and medication. Like, so I don't care about the number. I just care about the quality. And, you know, I want to live a good quality of life and not like suffer and be sick, you know? So, and that's what I knock on wood. Thank God all my grandparents, or the ones I cared about, the 3 I cared about, they didn't suffer at all. You know, my grandfather did have a heart attack, but he lived a couple of years after, and he was fine. Like he wasn't like, in pain or suffering. My grandmother, I mean, she can't move because of her knees, and she lived a very unhealthy, like surprisingly, she was that post World War II. Everything was canned. You know what I mean? I used to go there, and I love her house because I always get junk food over there, right? But she's 97, but she has her arthritis in her knees. She can't stand up and walk because she's, shot, So I think that if she would have had a better quality of life and ate better food and done better, she would be 97 and still be, my dad's 72. He comes 5 days a week to boot camp, a little stiff in the shoulder, a little stiff in the knee, but he shows up every day, 6:20 in the morning, and he's here doing his boot camp, So if my dad keeps going, I like to keep him around till hopefully he lives to be in his 90s. My mom doesn't take care of herself so much, but she's tough, so I think her toughness will keep her alive a long time. And like I said, I feel in my 80s, if everything goes as planned, again, things could happen, accidents happen. It is what it is. But if we stay safe, I feel 80s, I'm good.
All right. So hopefully that's happening for you and me as well.
Yeah.
I like 90 to 128.
How old are you now, man? You're a baby face. Look at you. Your skin's glowing on this thing.
I know, I'm still a baby. I don't know why. Since 18, I'm not aging, okay. This August, I will be 41.
Nah, good for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Still a baby.
Yeah, still a baby. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We are baby inside.
It's that Korean barbecue. That keeps you looking young, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then I'm gonna take you one day. We're gonna meet San Diego, and then we're gonna go there on together. Okay.
Sounds good.
That's right. So now, how people can find you?
You can Matt Espeut is my Facebook page. You can do that. Email me, Matt at Prov, which is short for Providence, provfitbody.com. That's pretty much. I mean, if you email me or you look me up on Facebook, you'll be able to find me.
Okay, so I'm gonna put your information, our show note.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit more about your business. So what's the business name, and then where's the location, and then what's the special about your location than other location?
Well, I bought a franchise, right? Because again, I'm a coach at heart, right? I'm not a businessman, right? I told you that earlier. I'm not great with numbers and marketing and stuff like that. So I'll give you a quick backstory. So 2014, things started to get slow in the personal training industry. I was doing a little bit of construction and subsidized. I had a certain amount of money in the bank, and I was starting to dwindle down. So I said, you know what? I got to parlay this into something, because I can't keep living off my savings, so my savings will be gone in 5 years, right? So I said, I got to take what little money I have left, and I got to convert it into something that's going to keep me afloat for a while. I didn't have enough to buy another piece of real estate. At the time, I had lost some money in the real estate market, right? So things were dwindling down. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go out to California. I'm going to take a 10-day trip, and I'm either going to find something to do there and stay there. Or I'm going to find something to bring back to Rhode Island that we've never seen before. So I went to a couple of conferences. I went to this thing called the Fitness Business Summit. I met this guy, Bedros Koulian, who's been a mentor of mine since, and he was selling these Fit Body Bootcamp franchises. Basically, you buy a Fit Body Bootcamp, we're going to give you all the steps to be successful. They never told me that I'd be working 1,000 hours a week, but that was fine. There's always going to be a little something that they leave out in sales, right? So I said, you know what? I've been doing HIIT training since before Muscle Media 2000. Remember that magazine?
Yeah. Muscle Media, yeah.
Bill Phillips, but he had a brother too. It was Bill Phillips and his brother. They were both one was doing the EAS supplements, one was doing Muscle Media. So I learned HIIT training from that long before anybody knew what the hell HIIT training was. So I saw the boot camp style. I was like, hey, the military can't be wrong. They've been doing it since the 50s, right? Keeping soldiers in shape. I said, boot camp is the way to go. You can train groups of people as opposed to doing one-on-one. So I said, let me put my $2,000 down. Came back. That was March 2014. Came back. I signed a lease in June of 2014. September of 2014, I opened my doors. September 31, 2014. So I bought the business, and like I said, it's taken that 20 grand or whatever I had left, and it's kept me going for all these years, 7 years. You know, I built my little, I'm not by no means I'm ready to retire, but it gave me purpose and gave me something to do. So that's a backstory of why I opened the brick and mortar, because I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to train people. Like the big box gym was they weren't treating us very well as independent trainers. So I said, you know, it's time for me to make a move. I got to do something. Either I'm going out to California, I'm not coming back, or I'm going to bring something back that's new here. And this boot camp in a box was something that nobody's ever seen here before. You know, we didn't have any Orange Theories. We didn't have any of those franchise Planet Fitnesses back in the day. You know, we're just getting started. So I wanted to do something different. So I created this business, and it's been great ever since. You know, even during COVID, we stayed open. We delivered a service to our members. I went from like 289 members to 170 members after COVID, and now I'm back up to about 200. But I also have 100 new non-member challengers in here, so I'm hoping to close 70% of them and be back close to my COVID numbers before all the shutdowns and stuff like that. So, so that's what it is. You know, just again, we had to pivot. We had, you know, I lost a lot of money last year. Everybody in the gym industry did. But I feel like the resiliency, the leadership behind me, and all that helped me survive, you know, plus a little bit of government PPP money. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that did help. That was a life preserver. So, so yeah, so that's where we're going. And, you know, my vision is to have, you know, over 400 members and, you know, 16, like right now I only have 3 teammates. I'm hoping to build that up. I need a few more. So, you know, I don't want multiple locations. I don't want more than one. But I think we're the best in the business because we deliver an experience like nobody else, right? All our coaches know all our members' names, right? We follow up with our members. You know, we do nutrition consults, right? We have a Facebook community. We go above and beyond, I think, what any gym would do as far as services in their members. And that's the important thing is, like, I was over hearing 2 members before. They didn't know I was listening. They're like, yeah, I just love coming here. I can be in a bad mood, but when I come here, I always talk to people. This is such a great community that it makes me feel good when I leave. Like, so no matter how bad of a day I am. And so I walked out, I said, sorry, ladies, I eavesdropped on your situation. I said, thank you very much for saying that, because that's what we're all about here. We want you to feel better when you leave than when you walked in the door. We want to be the best 30 minutes of your day. And, you know, I feel like we are. I think we're much more than a gym. I don't even consider us a gym. I consider us a coaching and accountability program. And we have that community environment where, you know, today we have a lot of new people and people are kind of standing off in corners. I said, no. I said, I had the mic on. I said, everybody look over and introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. And, you know, people started doing that, and it was fun, you know? So that's why I think our place is the best. I have the best coaches. My coaches bring the heat every single day. They come. And, you know, my assistant, she's great. She's always got my back. And, you know, I just think that we've got a great environment here, you know?
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And then also same time, I'm so happy for your member.
Yeah.
I think they're lucky.
No, I don't, it's not luck. I mean, they, you know, and you know, what's a good testament of what we do is that, you know, you can't expect somebody to be here forever, right? We're not the cheapest gym and I don't care, you know, we're probably the most expensive gym on the block, right? Where, you know, monthly fees are more than everybody else, but you're getting unlimited sessions, right? So I always say, like, when people quit, like we had about 30, 40 people come back this year alone, right? That's a testament, because I know they went other places, you know, I know they went to other places and they came back here because they know that we deliver something that they're not going to find anywhere else. I joined a big box gym just to get out of here because, like I said, I'm OCD. Like, I'll be working out and be like, oh, that wall needs paint. And I'll write down, like, you know, and I'll start moving furniture and I'll be like, damn, my workout's taking me 2 hours, right? So there was a time where I said, you know what, let me go to another gym for a little while. I'd be in that gym. I'd be like, oh, the energy is I can't take it. And I'd go into my gym and one of my coaches would be working, teaching a class. And I'd be like, this is where the energy is, right? So now I just lift at my gym. I will lift on off hours and I take a boot camp. So, like, I feel it. I feel the vibe. I feel the energy. And I know my members do too. Like, when they go to another place and they can hear crickets on the wall, they come in here and, man, we're pumping the music. We're you know, getting people to scream and yell and woohoo, you know, and it's like, you know, there's nothing like it, right? So, and it's fitness, right? People think fitness is like you said, nutrition, like you got to eat cardboard, right? And then people think fitness is going to be, oh, this horrible experience, but we make it a great experience. We make it a fun experience, so people want to come back and they get addicted to it, you know?
That's right. That's right. That's what we need this world the most right now.
Of course, right? Try to be that lighthouse, like Todd Durkin says. I owe a lot. My two mentors, Todd Durkin and Bedros Keuilian. Bedros is my, hardcore business guy, right? He's the one that, puts the hammer down, right? Where Todd is like, you got to take care of yourself. You got to, Todd's a heart-centered, whereas Bedros is like a, kill type of leader. You know what I mean? So I need that balance, right? You gotta have that kill mindset, but you also gotta be like willing to pour into people and be a lighthouse for people too. So I think you need that balance in everybody's life.
That's right. Yin and yang.
You got it, baby.
That's right. So thank you. So amazing to
pleasure.
share with your energy, and then like, oh my God, it's like one movie, like your life and business and energy and nutrition training. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say more?
I think we covered it all, man. I'm losing my voice now, buddy. I feel like I've been talking a lot. I don't know what else I can give, man. I try to, I tell people when I coach, I'm tired after coaching because I give everything on that floor. You know what I mean? So the same thing when I knew I was reading your questions and I said, you know what? I'm not going to sit there and just be, okay, yep. No. I said, I want to give to this guy because he gave, this is a compliment to me that you picked me to interview. So I want to make sure I create some value for you too, man.
That's right. You are the first American on my show.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. It's an honor, my man.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your energy.
All right.
I wish you all the best.
And you as well, my friend. I hope Canada unlocks you guys, man. I know you guys have been locked down and working, having some hard times there.
Yeah, my business has been shut down over 1 year.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's good. Well, hey, kudos to you. You're keeping it going, man. You're keeping people, same thing. You're doing the same thing I'm doing, man. So like we're mirroring each other, right? Again, you're interviewing me, so I'm not going to get into, but I know what you're doing, man. And that's why I came on your show, man, because I respect you and I respect what you're delivering, buddy. So keep it up. That's
right. But I never cry. I don't want to complain. -20 Canada, right? -20 this winter. I still work outside with my loving client.
You're a beast, baby. You're a beast.
Yeah, just because a lot of situation, government or this world ask you to shut down. So which is I follow, but doesn't mean you have to completely shut down what you're doing. Something amazing. No, if you really want to do it, you always find a way to do it. I go outside. We do something -20. Yep.
Let's go. I tell everybody, you're not paying to use my equipment. You're paying for me to give you results. And that's what I'm going to do, regardless of whether we're in the gym, we're in the field, we're out in the parking lot, or you're in your living room watching me on Zoom. We're going to deliver. That's why we still charge our members when we close down. We still charge a fee because we're still delivering value, right? You're paying for a result. You're paying for health, fitness, and longevity, and we're giving it to you, whether it's via Zoom, whether it's in person, and that's something we can't do for free. So we had to keep our membership going to all the people that were willing to pay us.
That's right. Amazing. Thank you so much, sir.
Have a great week.
Hope we can meet each other in person soon.
We will. Don't hope. We're gonna.
That's all right. Thank you. Thank you so much.